Big change, big call at lock. Is Isaac Ross been made a scapegoat?
No, I don't think so. I think, Isaac's had a big year, same as Owen Franks. Played a lot of Super 14, played a lot of the Test matches this year, and we just feel that it's time to let him step out of the arena a wee bit and reflect on what he has done and what he needs to do going forward. So Tom's been part of the group now for a couple of weeks. He's trained really well, and we think he'll add to the team as well. So it's a win-win on both situations.
Who will call the lineouts?
Rito's calling them, and Tom will be the backup if Rito goes off.
I guess for those looking outside in, though, it's got a very different look to it, hasn't it? Lineout's been the talk of the season, really, and
it's been great, hasn't it?
And all of a sudden there's a lock gone and a prop gone, and that seems to be...
Oh yeah, but I mean, there's got to be times when you've got to make changes, and if things aren't working as well. So it's not, these changes, I can tell you, aren't made because Isaac's looked upon as failed in the line-out. He's actually done that job reasonably well. Owen's not dropped because of the line-out. He's done his job well. But he's a 21-year-old if you look at Owen, and it's been a huge year. He's just been plucked out of nowhere effectively, and that's hard mentally. It's hard at some stage of it. You've just got to give them a little bit of a breather and let them reflect on what they've achieved. And it's high pressure rugby, and we just felt that this week is a week to do that.
But you could also argue, Steve, that Isaac Ross has more Test experience than Tom Donnelly going into a very important game.
Yeah, you could argue that, but our job is to pick the best side that we think can win the Test match, and also look after the players that we've got for the future. So that's what we've done.
The switch at 6.
That's straight on form, really. Tomo's been in outstanding form. He's come in and played really well when he came off the bench the other day. So we just think that at this stage he's just playing that well. We can't afford to leave him out.
How comfortable are you with the lineup? Because it's, as you joke for it is always the topic. You've got a specialist scrum coach, but it's all, I guess, left up to you and the players. Would you like a specialist line-out coach in the way that you've got Chrono?
I don't think we need one, to be honest. I think with Mick Byrne and his AFL skills and jumping and catching and my own skills, I think we've got that covered. The problem last week with the line-out is the first 4 line-outs we had human error. It doesn't matter what defensive system you've got, if you miss a tackle, someone's going to score. It's the same in the line-out. If you don't have someone through lack of attention or doesn't hear the call and misses the back lift, your jumper's not going to catch the ball because he's not going to get up high enough. So that's human error, and you can't do much about that. You've just got to keep working on your basic skills, and eventually that'll come right. And you just got to trust your systems, and we saw that in the second half. Apart from the dubious not straight, we won all the line-out ball that we attempted to catch. So I think it's just a matter of trusting our systems and then making sure that we stay on a now focus. This is a job I've got to do right now, and I've got to do it right rather than thinking about the second job.
It's been an ongoing concern for some time. Why don't you bring in line-out assistants?
Well, we have. It's not as if we haven't done that. So,
were you tempted to do it again this season or this week?
No. What? As I just said, if you've got human error, someone coming in is not going to say, well, if I throw you the ball and you don't catch it, are we going to bring in a catching coach? So, human error is human error. You can't plan for it. You just got to hope that people have done their homework and they've got to now focus and do the job on the time. When the boys are talking about it, and when they hear about all the dramas that are going on exterior of the team, they just laugh because they know that we're working hard, we're working on the right things, and we're doing the right things. And it just unfortunately the line-out reflects our whole game this season. It's just been up and down, and again, it's just at times been half a notch off because someone hasn't done their job, and it's no different than some of the ball we've dropped in open play. It's no different than some of the stuff that we've high ball catching and stuff like that. So it's just an ability to stay focused on the job we have to do right there, right now.
How do you change that mindset where you train well, technically you think you're going along the right track, but come game time things fall apart?
I think the only way you can train it is make training as close to a game-like situation. So you're putting people under pressure mentally, not so much physically, but mentally under pressure, and then you'll see where the where the holes are, and you know, we saw that yesterday. Like our first couple of line-outs yesterday were average, but as the session went on, because they were under pressure, they knew they were only going to get one chance at it, so they got it right.
I think some people, unfortunately, at home believe you don't do a lot of line-out training because we're not allowed to film it.
Well, that's mainly because we don't want the opposition to see it, not because we don't want the people at home to see it. But they're most welcome to come to the open training runs we have.
Tialata back after spending a little time out of the squad. The decision there.
Well, basically, we really want to use him as a set-piece player. He's a good scrummager and
He's a lifter as well.
Yeah, he's a good lifter as well. But his scrummaging is the key thing, and he's been quite damaging in the two NPC New Zealand Cup games he's played, and his knee's fine at the moment. So you know, he's a class player when he's right.
Steve, sorry, did you feel like you may have thrown Stephen Donald a bit of a hospital pass? That was his first big game with second five last week.
Oh, not really. I think it's just something that we felt at the time was going to give us a two-man kicking game, and unfortunately it didn't work, you know, but you try things and sometimes they come off and sometimes they don't. Unfortunately that one didn't work. But, you know, we didn't give them much help either, did we? Like, we didn't have a lot of set ball to play off early in the game, and when that happens too, it makes it difficult.
And with 5 changes, like a third of the team, have you gone through this before with the All Blacks where you've had to make that many changes on form?
Well, we changed the whole team over in the UK. You guys call it rotation, I think, but so yeah, so not too bad. I mean, sometimes you've got to make changes, and that's what we've done. So people will question it, and other people will applaud it. But the proof will be in the eating on Saturday night, I guess. And you know, when you're a selector and a coach, you've just got to do what you think's right. As long as you can look in the mirror and say, you know, I've done what I think's right, then you know, no one can question it.
And you do that?
Yeah, every morning when I have a shave. Yeah, what about yourself?
Yeah.
Adam Thompson's been used at 7 times. Is this a shift? What, you think 6 is?
Well, that's his natural position, and we've played around with trying to find someone to help Richie out, and you know, there's probably something else that didn't work that good. But again, as we said, we're not going to die wondering. We believe that if we think something's right to have a go at it, we'll do it. And I guess it's the Kiwi way, isn't it? It's why we invented number 8 wide to do so many things.
What different does this Wallaby pack give you than you know, the troubles you've had against the South Africans?
Well, they're a different forward pack, aren't they? I mean, South Africa have a different mindset. They just want to beat you up, whereas Australia actually want to play a bit of rugby as well, and probably a little bit more athletic aerobically. I'm not saying the South Africans aren't athletic, please don't get me wrong there, because they are, but Australia will run for a lot longer than the South Africans will. So the problem we'll have is we're going to have to go for 80 minutes and from the get-go, and you know, we know, and history tells us that it's always going to be a physical game against them, and you know, we're looking forward to it.
You say players laugh off exterior criticism. What about you?
Well, mate, I think it was Lombardi, but the guy that I remember saying it was Jack Gibson, said that they haven't made any statues out of critics or wannabes. So I've just got to do what I think's right and do the job I've got to do. And people are going to say what they want to say, and I can't get caught up in that. So I don't know that you laugh it off, but you just get on and do the job you've got to do. And you know, I'm pretty comfortable in my own skin.
Do you take note of what some of the former players are saying, like an Ian Jones or Robin Brooke?
Oh, not a lot really, because I mean, criticism's okay if it's informed, and they haven't been to trainings, they don't know what we're trying to do. So again, you just got to focus on the task you've got to do. I've been here before when we were with Wales, you know, like I think we lost 10 tests in a row, and there's plenty of pressure that went with that. But you know, I had another job once as a policeman, and that's when you find out what pressure's like, when you've got to go knock on someone's door and tell them their son's died, or you've got to take their wee baby away because they've had a cot death. So this is a game of rugby, and yeah, we're passionate about it and we believe a lot in it, but at the end of the day, you just got to do the best you can do.
Go to number8.co.nz.